We'll call to order the Board of Zoning Appeals. Please stand for the pledge. Keith, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Here. 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 Here.
Here.
Here.
Present. Okay, all regular members are here and we'll be voting on the items coming before us. Do you have any announcements about
only the second item of
delay
the agenda.
of
Application 2013-39 David Stansberry for Old Nashville Highways with the address being 6776. Their agent has requested a deferral until the August meeting.
Okay. The first item of business, we have a request by Michael Villanova, and this is concerning the regulation of fire hydrant. What do you have on that, please? What? Oh, well, I didn't have any minutes. Did you? Do you have them ready? Does everybody have your minutes? Well, I didn't get them, so that's okay. All right. We'll go back and, okay, we have a motion to be approved. We have a second.
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. They are approved. If you'll just get me a copy of them before we leave. All right. First item, Michael Villanova, who is requesting the relief from a fire hydrant within 1,000 feet.
Application 2013-38 is a request for variance relief from the 1,000-foot requirement, distance requirement for non-residential uses. This property is zoned agricultural residential. The applicant, Mr. Villanova, is seeking this variance request in order to obtain site plan approval for a dog kennel daycare type facility. The site's a 21-acre site located at 9304 Independent Hill Road. This is an aerial of the site. And when the property was rezoned to agricultural services under our old zoning resolution, they were aware that this particular site and the installation of a fire hydrant could not be supported at this site due to the location of the pump station across the street and the lack of pressure that would be available for residents along Independent Hill Drive past this point. And that is supported in an email that was sent to Elizabeth Emsley on April 19, 2012, when the initial rezoning request was being reviewed. And that was included in your packets for consideration. And we did not receive any phone calls regarding this particular application. And as you notice, this is the pump facility. It's directly across from the drive of the doggy daycare use that will be established on this site. And it's largely rural in this area, and don't expect any particular issues. The applicant demonstrated meeting the criteria for variance requests. And that concludes our presentation.
Do we have anyone here representing this request? If you'll come around, please, to the podium. What's your step there? Give us your name and any additional information you'd like to share with us.
Yes, sir. My name is Michael Villanova. I'm the owner of the property at 9304 Independent Hill Road. And as was stated by the Planning Commission, it's pretty much a straightforward from there. We believe that you know, the pipes there on the road won't support a fire hydrant, and we would like to open a boarding facility. It'll be a pretty small use facility. We're only going to be boarding about 19, 20 dogs at a time.
Any questions? Thank you. You may be seated. We'll open this for a public hearing for anyone who'd like to speak on this request. Close the public hearing.
Mr. Chairman, I just got some comments I want to make. I know in the past we always have applications come up here like this, and I don't want to, I guess, penalize this gentleman. He's trying to open up his business here, and I've read the letter that we received from CUD, but you know, it just seems like every time we have a business or something out in the county that comes before us, so it seems like that applicant always has to come and get a variance request from the fire hydrant. And I guess a little bit of a personal note, I'm a firefighter, and I know, you know, out in the county, our fire departments are already disadvantaged, not having enough water supplies as far as fire hydrants. They have to shut a lot of water. I don't know if our planning department or whatever needs to, you know, get with CUD. You know, like I say, I hate to penalize this person trying to open their business here, but at the same time, you know, I don't know what a CUD needs to upgrade their water lines or whatever. I mean, I think we'd be in the same scenario if somebody came out there and wanted to develop a small subdivision or whatever they wanted to do. We still, you know, we're going to have these buildings out there, and we're not going to have adequate water supply for fire protection. So, I'm not against the concept of this gentleman wanting to have his business out there. I am against the concept of CUD not wanting to be able to do whatever they need to do, supply water for a fire hydrant in the area.
Well, we probably do that too many times. It's come before us quite a bit. And it's certainly an issue in the county that needs to be addressed. And maybe the county commission and some others could take a look at that and see if it could be fixed. I agree. I wholeheartedly would hate to see us get into a fire out there and not have adequate water to fight that fire.
Mr. Chairman, what happened years ago, there's a market out on Woodbury Highway that in order for them to get approved, they put a water tank there so they could have water. Okay. I don't know why that's not an option.
Not right now. But it's something that needs to be addressed. And I'm not sure if we need to do that or probably the county commission needs to look at that very seriously at some point in time. Got a motion?
Mr. Chairman, we've approved all of them in the past, so I make a motion to approve.
Have a motion to be approved. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Joe Machota. Call the roll, please.
Yes.
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 No.
Yes. The next item we have is a request by Stan Reed, who is requesting a barbershop at his home. What do you have on that, please?
Thank you. Application 2013-40 is a request for special exception approval to allow the establishment of a major home-based business of a barbershop on the property that's zoned residential medium. The property is a 3.57 acre parcel located at 1192 Allen Road, and Mr. Reed would like to have a barbershop that can service up to 8 to 10 customers per day. And because of that number of anticipated clients per day, it places him in the major home-based business category. And we've included the information that he provided on his application. He does indicate that he will be the only employee of the barbershop. We received no phone calls regarding this particular application. He will use a portion of his existing residence for the barbershop, and parking will be provided off of a private driveway in the back of the area, or back of the main structure. And these are photos of the surrounding area. It's an established neighborhood. We posted a sign on the property, and we find that he meets the criteria for major home-based business. And that concludes our presentation.
Okay, do we have someone here representing this? If you'll come around, please. If you'll give us your name and any additional information.
My name
That's
is
your
Stan
operation.
Reed. Of course, I'm the owner at 1192 Allen Road, and there's already like she said, there's already an existing part of the house, and I would just like to open a barber shop up.
Any questions? Thank you. You may be seated. We'll open this for a public hearing for anyone who'd like to speak on this request. Commissioner Will Jordan, it's always good to have you.
Cantrell, members of the Board of Zoning Appeals. I'm Will Jordan, of course, the commissioner for that district. I just want to say I support Mr. Reed's application, and I did just read something that I probably should have talked to staff about before, and I didn't realize it. It says only one sign, which that's fine. He only and it must be attached to the principal structure. Is there any way that he can have a variance or something? Because if it's over in a house that's heavily landscaped and stuff, and it's going to be hard to see. I know there's another one around the road. Another individual's got a small, and he just has like a 5 square foot sign out close to the road. You know, not much bigger than a name on a mailbox, but I don't know if that's an option. But if you do have that authority, I would appreciate maybe giving him the leniency to have his sign out beside his mailbox, or maybe attached to his mailbox or something like that. Of course, nothing obtrusive to the neighbors, but besides that, I'm supportive of his application.
He could do that, but it would have to be complied within the size of the signs. What size was he interested in?
I think it says here no more than 5 square feet. I believe he's fine with that. He just would like to have it out by the road. But I read in here it said it must be attached to the principal structure. But I don't know. Like I said, I'll go back and sit down. But if you all do have the ability to give him that leniency, that would be appreciated.
We have all the ability we can take. So, anyone else want to speak on this? Close the public hearing. I'll entertain a motion.
I just have a question, Daniel. Do we, to do what the commissioners asked to do we need to state something in our motion to? Yep. Okay, so if we made it part of our motion to allow him to put that sign, make it where he doesn't have to put it on his principal structure, we could make that part of our motion? In other words, you say we've done that in the past?
The staff report was not prepared with that request in mind.
Okay.
You could make that as let the administrative folks look into it as a part of the motion, and then you could make a decision.
Well, I just want to make sure, if I make a motion, I want to make sure that that's what they requested. I don't think that's outside the realm of what we've done in the past. I just want to make sure if I make that motion that that's what he's allowed to do.
I would imagine if you indicated that if it is permissible after staff review.
Okay.
Michael, did you have a...
Well, when you go that route about the sign, I just want to make you aware that on Allen Road and around the corner from this property, there's at least 3 that I can think of that are home-based businesses. Now, I don't know if they have approval or not, but they're operating a business and their signs are out by the road.
I realize there's probably numerous examples of that throughout the county that have not been permitted, but no one's complained, and it's not causing a disturbance amongst neighbors.
Why don't you make that a part of your motion, let them administratively see if they can.
Yeah, I'm just going to make a motion to be approved, and I'm just going to make part of my motion to be that he be allowed to put his 5 square foot sign by the road.
So move.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a second?
I'll second it.
Harry, did you get that? We'll do something. Call the roll, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. The next item is a request by Charles Griffin. And what do you have on that?
Application 2013-41 is a request for special exception approval for an accessory dwelling unit that does not meet the standards for accessory dwelling units. The property is located in a residential low-density zone. The property address is 8059 Valley View Road. It's a 6-acre site, and the applicant is in the process of constructing an addition to the existing home on the property that will eventually become the principal residence of the applicant. The existing home on the property was constructed a couple years ago with the intentions of building a larger principal structure on the property at a later time when they were prepared to construct it. They would like to be the ability to continue to keep the accessory dwelling unit on the property and all of those elements part of the existing building that make it an individual dwelling unit for family members and guests. The principal structure that is under construction now is 3,500 square feet, and the accessory dwelling unit, which is the existing home on the property, is 1,150 square feet, and it exceeds the 25% maximum that's allowed for accessory dwelling units that are attached to the principal structure. We received one informational call on this particular application, but they did not indicate any opposition to the request. These are aerial shots of the area. We posted a sign on the property. As you can see, they started construction of the principal structure. If they get denied the ability to retain the accessory dwelling unit, they will remove those elements that make it an independent living facility. So. As you can see, the existing home, there's a garage and the addition being constructed. And that concludes our presentation.
Do we have anyone here representing this? If you'll come around, please. Just give us your name and any additional information.
I'm Charles Griffin, the owner. Me and my wife are. And like she said, all we want to do is she goes back to another picture. We would be tying on right there beside the garage and just coming out with the main, building, which would be tied in to all the residents we got now. Basically, all we're doing right now, we built that one to live in while we're building another one. We sold our house and we built that small one there, and we just like to,
So you're living on site now?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Griffin, who's going to live in the second building?
Well,
Who will live in the second home?
When we get the other part finished, we will live in it.
Oh, you're going to live, okay.
Yeah, and that one will be just like a fourth bedroom in.
Okay, you just build it onto your house?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you. You may be seated. We'll open this for a public hearing for anyone who'd like to speak on this request. Close the public hearing. Do we have a motion on it?
I move we approve it.
Have a motion it be approved. Do we have a second? Need a second. Got a second. Call a roll, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Do we have any other business to come before the board?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I may be out of order here, but is there any way that we can request Danielle or someone to approach planning or whatever to get with the water department about these water lines and see what we can maybe put some kind of issues on consolidated to update their lines,
Would you like me to try to get the a representative from Consolidated to come to our meeting to talk about this? Would that be?
I think it'd be a good idea.
Okay, I'll do that. Okay. Strong recommendation from the BZA to have someone here to represent their interests.
Daniel, do you have something you want to add?
Well, I just want to say that when the site plan was applied for, it was under the old regs, and our new regs now, if a fire hydrant isn't available, then they have to sprinkler. They have to be sprinklered, the non-residential use. So there is something in place now that provides an alternative.
All right. Well, and I see what you're saying about sprinkling, but you know, here's the thing: if this water line right here won't supply a hydrant, if they put a commercial sprinkler system, that thing probably ain't gonna. I don't know if it'll supply it either. You know, it'd probably be the same draw. So, I think it's still an issue with CUD having to upgrade their water lines. I really do. So, and I mean, I don't know what. As far as us, and I don't know if any other county representative, whether it be commissioners or planning staff or whatever, really knows if CUD has any plans. Maybe not out there, but sooner or later we're gonna have, and we have. I think that's been some issues, even from a planning standpoint, on some subdivisions in the past about wanting to develop some subdivisions and the water lines not being upgraded. I'm just saying, I know since I've been on this board, we have had several applications come for us, churches, I mean, just all kinds of stuff that has a big fire load. And then we're not wanting to penalize those people or those businesses, but at the same time, though, I mean, we're not making CUD, you know, if they're not have adequate water supply for fire protection, that's a bad scenario too. So that's just the perspective I'm coming from.
We'll try to get someone from CUD to come to our meetings, either next time or the time after that, to kind of give us an update on what their plans are, if there are any, to do that. Any other business to come before us? We stand adjourned. Thank you.